Good morning, dear children. Hoping you are all doing good and safe at your own places. So today we are moving on to the finishing topic, that is the painting portion in the finishing topic. So I hope you have gone through the plastering and the pointing part. Now we are moving on to the painting part. So we all know this paint is a liquid surface coating, and on drying it forms a thin films on the painted surface. And let's see what are the basic ingredients of oil-based paint. So the basic ingredients are base, vehicle, dryers, coloring pigments and solvents. So the base is the ingredient which imparts the binding property to the paint. The vehicle is another ingredient which helps the liquid to be in suspension so that it could be uniformly spread over the surface. The dryers will impart the drying property to the paint. And the coloring pigment, that means depending upon the color which we are planning to give to a paint, we can give the coloring pigments. Then solvents or the thinners will allow the paint to stay in thin layers. Now let's see what are the objects of painting a surface. Basically, this paint will protect the surface from the weathering effects of the atmosphere and the actions by other liquids, fumes and gases. The paints prevent the decay of wood and corrosion in metal. This paint is used to give a good appearance to the surface, and the paint will provide a smooth surface for easy cleaning. Now let's see what are the characteristics of an ideal paint. The paint should possess a good spreading power. It should be fairly cheap and economical. It should be such that it can be easily and freely applied to the surface. It should be such that it dries in a reasonable time and not too rapid. Then it should be such that its color is maintained for a long time. And it should also form a hard and durable surface. It should not affect the health of the workers during its application. It should not be affected by weathering actions of the atmosphere. It should possess attractive and pleasing appearance. The surface coated with paint should not show cracks when the paint dries. So when applied on the surface, the paint should form a thin film of uniform nature. Now let's see the different types of paint. There are different types of paint which includes aluminium paints, anti-corrosive paints, asbestos paint, cement paint, cellulose paint, colloidal paints, emulsions, graphite paint, inodorous paint, luminous paint and oil paint. So these are the different types of paints. So let's see what are the different types of paints one by one. This aluminium paint, they are finely ground aluminium which is suspended in spirit or varnish as per the requirement. Then the spirit or oil evaporates a thin metallic film of aluminium, and that aluminium is formed on the surface. The advantages of aluminium paints are it is visible in darkness, it resists heat to a certain degree, the surface of iron and steel are better protected from corrosion by this aluminium paint than any other paint. It possesses a very high covering capacity. That is, 1 liter of paint can cover an area of about 200 square meter. Then it gives a good appearance to the surface, and it is impervious to the moisture. And it also possesses a high electrical resistance. So this aluminium paint is widely used for painting gas tanks, hot water pipes, oil storage tanks, radiators, etc. Now let's see what is anti-corrosive paint. These paints essentially consist of oil and a strong dryer. And the chromium is the pigment. Usually the chromium, lead, zinc, chrome, etc. are the pigments which are added to this paint. And these advantages of this anti-corrosive paint are, these anti-corrosive paints are cheap, it will last for a longer duration, and the appearance of the paint is black in color. Next is asbestos paint. And this is a peculiar type of paint, and it is applied on the surface which are exposed to acidic gases and steam. So this is basically used in places where especially in labs and all, that is asbestos paint, where there are acid actions are moved. Okay, then comes the bituminous paint. This variety of bituminous paint is available. Then it is black in appearance, and it is basically used in ironwork under the water, and it is prepared by dissolving asphalt or mineral pitches or vegetable bitumen or any type of oil or petroleum. Next is cement paint. This paint consists of white cement, pigment, accelerators and other additives, and it is available in variety of shades, and it exhibits excellent decorative appearance. This cement paint is waterproof and it is durable, and it is mixed with water immediately before its application. It is desirable to provide cement paint on rough surface rather than in smooth surface. Next is cellulose paint. This paint is prepared from nitro cotton, celluloid sheets, photographic films, etc. Usually this ordinary paint hardens by oxidation, while cellulose paint hardens by evaporation of the thinning agent. Thus it will hardens very quickly than other paints. Then it is much more costly than the other paints because it presents a hard, flexible and a smooth surface. So it is much more costly than the other paints. Then it can be easily washed and cleaned, and it is not affected by contact with hot water, and it could easily stand higher degrees of coldness as well as heatness. Next is colloidal paint. Basically no inert material is mixed with this type of paints, and it requires more time to settle, and in the process of settlement it penetrates through the surface. It may be used for interior as well as to the exterior walls. Then colloidal paints we have seen now. Then next is emulsion paint. This emulsion paints, it basically consists of tiny beads of resin binder along with pigments which is dispersed in water. A variety of emulsion paints are available right now. It contains binding materials like polyvinyl acetate, synthetic resins, etc. The paint is easy to apply and it dries quickly within 1.5 to 2 hours. The color of the paint is retained for a longer period of time. The surface of the paint is tough and can be cleaned by washing with water. There is absence of odor and has excellent alkali resistant property. The next is enamel paint. This paint is available in different colors. It contains white lead or zinc, then oil, petroleum spirit and resinous matter. It dries slowly and form a hard and durable surface. The surface provided with this paint is not affected by acids, alkalis, gas fumes, hot, cold water, steam, etc. It can be used for both external and both internal and external walls. In order to improve the appearance, it is desirable to apply a coat of titanium white in pale linseed oil before the coat of enamel paint. So this is enamel paint. It is available in different varieties. Next is graphite paint. The paint presents a black color and it is applied on the iron surface which come in contact with ammonia, chlorine, sulfur, gases, etc. It is used in mines and underground railways. Next is inodorous paint. No turpentine is used in this paint, but white lead or zinc white is well ground into the oil and it is mixed with methylated spirit. This paint is not durable, but it dries very quickly. Then luminous paint. It contains calcium sulfide with varnish. The surface on which the luminous paint is applied shines like radium dials of watches. You have seen the radium dials of watches, right? So it will shine like that after the source of light has been cut off. The paint should be applied on surface which are free from corrosion or any other lead paint. Next is oil paint. This is ordinary paint and it is generally applied in three layers. That means 3 coat. It is applied in 3 coats of varying composition. They are respectively termed as primes, undercoats and finishing coats. This paint is cheap and easy to apply, and it possesses good capacity and low gloss. The oil paint should not be applied during humid and damp weather. The presence of dampness on wall surface considerably affect the life of oil paint coating. And what are the defects which are usually coming in painting is the blistering and peeling. We have studied blistering and peeling in plastering, then cracking, flacking, then wrinkling, flashing, grinning, etc. Then let's see, so this painting portion, the main oil paint is over right now. Now what is distempering? So the main object of applying the distemper to the plastered surface is to create a smooth surface. The distempers are available in the market under different trade names. They are very cheaper variety of paints in which chalk is used as a base and water is used as a carrier. Means carrier, okay. Then what are the properties of distempers? On drying, the film of distemper shrinks. Hence, it leads to cracking and flacking if the surface to receive distemper is weak. So basically, for cheaper works only we will go for distempers. The coating of distemper are usually thick and they are more brittle than other types of water paints. The film developed by distemper is porous in character and it allows water vapor to pass through. Hence, it permits new walls to dry out without damaging the distemper films. They are generally light in color and they provide a good reflective coating. They are less durable than oil paints. The distempers are treated as water paints and they are easy to apply. These distempers can be applied on brickwork, cement plastered surface, lime plastered surface, insulating boards, etc. And they exhibit poor workability. They prove to be unsatisfactory in damp locations such as kitchen, bathrooms, etc. Then, so the distempering is over right now. Now let's come to the whitewashing. The fresh lime is selected at site of work and mixed thoroughly with sufficient quantity of water in a tub. It is then screened through a clean cloth. Clan gum is dissolved in hot water. It is then added to this. The rice may be used in place of gum. Then the surface to be whitewashed should be cleaned before the work is started. For whitewashing walls which are whitewashed before, the old loose whitewash is to be first removed and the repairing to the plaster is carried out if necessary. The lime is toxic for germs. It reflects light and thus it increases the brightness of the surface. Then next is color washing. This is prepared by adding the coloring pigment to the screened whitewash. It should be seen that the coloring pigment is not affected by the presence of lime. Generally, the walls are color washed and ceilings are whitewashed. The mixture is to be kept constantly stirred during the use. The color wash is applied in the same fashion as the whitewash. So, the painting portion is over. The distempering, whitewashing, etc. is over. We have some more portions which are left in this fourth module. So maybe tomorrow we will be able to cover the fourth module. The initial topics and all the lintels, arches and all you are writing as assignment. Moreover, you have studied it during the building technology. So next we will be moving on to the fifth module. Maybe day after tomorrow we can start the fifth module. By tomorrow we will be finishing this fourth module. So all of you stay safe. At the same time, please do study. It's high time for you to study. The results have come out. And anyway, I know there is no use in telling you all these things. But still I am again from my part I am telling you, please do study. Otherwise, you are going to end up in a very bad situation. Okay. So take care. Stay safe. Thank you.